I'm going to turn on the ugly light. But I'm going to leave that light on too. And apparently I'm going to set my camera on my mouse. If you guys want to get a book pool, my mods can tell you how. But I want you guys to remember, and I want you to repeat it to yourself multiple times a day. For those of you guys on YouTube that weren't watching on TikTok, here's what I want you to repeat to yourself multiple times a day. Are you ready? I am the prize. Ready? Say it with me. I am the prize. There is no soul exactly like your soul. There is no other human exactly like you. And there never will be. You might look like somebody else. You might laugh like somebody. You might walk like somebody. You might do the same things as somebody else. But there will never be another soul that's your soul. There will never be another human that's you. That makes you 100% unique. One of a kind. Therefore, you are the prize. You are the prize. Apparently I talked too long. Let me pull up my list. Thank you, love. I like that it's telling me that it's already over. Did y'all know that? Alright. So, if you guys would like to get a ticket, they're back open again. Alright. I'll pull up my guest list here in just a second. Gotta love it. I love that, I love seeing so many of you guys say, I am the prize. Alright. Miss Christine Carver, are you ready? So I'm only pulling from the back of the grimoire because the rest of it's in French. Unfortunately, Bodhi doesn't read French. Sorry. Ready, Christine? So you get a couple of sentences. You ready, Christine? Tobacco serves to nourish them, and the vinegar quenches them when they are thirsty. So they are kept in a state of discomfort, and they are the witness of my daily triumphs. Let them continue to choke on the tobacco and drink the vinegar, and watch as you continue to grow and prosper. In other words, let the naysayers continue to be naysayers. Fuck them and feed them fish heads. All right, Miss Maria Lagervist. Ready? A fine tale which comes from far away. People are always going to talk, Maria. The tale comes from far, far away. It's just that, but a tale. Let it continue to be a fable. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe it's steeped in truth, maybe it's not. Miss Rochelle, you ready? It is better to let sweat slowly vaporize. I love that. It is better to let sweat slowly vaporize. All of those trials and tribulations that you're going through, let them roll off of you. They'll vaporize along with all of those things along the way that have been standing in your path. All right, this one's for your daughter. You ready? Do you not see that old trickster? That he has extorted you of money and he has fooled you. Do you think so? One must be very simple-minded to ask such questions. How do you, since you have received a certain level of education, still believe in sorcerers, evocations, spells, talismans, and all of that balderdash? Sweet pea. That trickster spirit that played all the jokes on you and that caused all the problems. Continue to believe in the magic in the world and let the trickster be the trickster. Okay? All right, Miss Lindsay Hicks, you ready? Are they? Somebody said they're sold out. Really, already? Well, let me get through these and I'll put some more tickets up because I have 50 to get through. So I'm like, surely they are not sold out. Y'all really? Yeah, it shouldn't be sold out. Let me make sure. Oh, that's why. Here's why it's sold out. Because there you go. Try that, guys. It kept going back to 10 p.m. Try that, okay? Well, I was like, there's no way I put 50 up there. Y'all got all 50. So, try that. Now I gotta wait for it to refresh. Maybe. Kind of, sort of. Somebody let me know if it's working now, okay? You're just as beautiful, Miss Victoria. Thank you. All right, Lindsay. Ready? But the taste for divination was not always limited to those innocent examples. Lindsay, just because you can't get the knack of regular, simple divination things such as cards or a pendulum does not mean that that's all you're limited to. Look outside the norm. Do the things that aren't what TikTok considers divination. Thank you, Rochelle. Okay. Just saying what I'm saying. You have an amazing talent and you're trying to fit it in a box. Stop trying to fit your talent in a box. Thank you, love. All right, Miss Lisa. Hippie Mama, you ready? Give me a coin. I want you to experience this by your own purse. You will be better persuaded thus. When you put your time and your money and your effort into something, instead of just watching someone else do it, you gain so much more knowledge and so much more clarity and so much more understanding. All right. Vaela Blackwell, Vaela. Vaela? Am I saying it right? Please tell me I'm not murdering your name. All right, here you go. The name of the book I'm reading from is The Grand Grimoire, or The Red Dragon. Like I said, the first part's in French. So, and even part of this part is in French. So, ready, Val? The old man was awaiting him, sitting in front of a small table and reading by the light of a tallow candle from a half-torn dusty book. Sometimes the knowledge that you seek isn't found online. It isn't found in the norm. Guys, don't be afraid to dig into old things. Don't be afraid to read some weird old book you found at Goodwill. Don't be afraid to go into those old bookstores where everything smells like leather and paper. Don't be afraid to read about the old ways of doing things. I just had a talk with a friend of mine today about how the old traditions are being forgotten. And I mentioned this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing with my life. Read the old books. They'll give you more information than you ever realized, guys. All right, Miss Tiffany, you ready? Thank you, guys. It's funny, my eyes actually fell on the one that I read to Lisa just a second ago. I am going to read it to you, but I'm going to read you this one as well. Give me a coin. I want you to experience this by your own purse. You will be better persuaded thus. But then this right here. Because I feel like it's funny, okay? I feel like this is where you needed to be. It's where you were. It's where you've been. This is where you are now. You ready? This time the result was satisfactory. He touched the copper plate with impunity and retrieved his money without difficulty. I think that's self-explanatory, Miss Tiffany. I'm just saying. Thank you, love. I have been a public speaker and in front of the public for a long time. Some days I can read right on, and other days words are not my friend. All right, Miss Kim Harrell, you ready? This one's pretty interesting, Kim. Ready? Like I can't even read it without giggling. The skin of the wolf should be sliced into 1-inch thick garters. Write the words as above, so below on the garters. Obviously, it doesn't have to be skin. Parchment works just as well. Like I said, this is an old book. But as above, so below is a it's the start of the ending of most shamanic prayers. I end my braid when I'm done braiding it with as above, so below, as within, so without. It means all around, everywhere, inside, outside, up, down, etc. I mean, there is fake skin out there, so if you wanted to write it on skin, you could totally do that, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, Andrea, I have you for 3, love. So, here's your first one. Ready? So, this right here is the Complete Illustrated Grand Grimoire, or the Red Dragon. Yes, you can get it on Amazon. So, here you go, Miss Andrea. I won't refuse, little one, replied the shepherd. What would you have me recount? Stop giving people your time and effort when they're questioning everything you do. If they don't believe you now, they're not going to believe you later. And you don't need to waste your time or energy trying to make them believe you. Here's your second one, ready? Hopefully it's not another skin one. I promised myself to try this experiment, and I will. I want to have a clear heart. You need to go forward into this amazing new experiment, this path that you're on, with a clear heart, with a clear conscience. Because guess what? It's your path. It's not anybody else's path. So who gives a fuck what they think of it? You be ready for your path and the things that you're going to learn and you're going to see and you're going to experience. Here's your third one. Ready? Interesting. She had no dwelling on earth. She was condemned until judgment day to the monstrous state which her mother's curse had placed on her. You aren't your mom. You aren't your grandma. You aren't your dad. You aren't your grandpa. You aren't your ancestors. You aren't even the person you were last year. Stop apologizing and stop worrying about things that other people did in the past and things that you did in the past, because it's no longer you. The you right now will no longer be you tomorrow or next week or next year. Those are some deep things there, Andrea. All the deepness. All right, Miss Rebel, you ready? On leaving the church, where the Count was receiving the vows of his new subjects, a man presented himself and offered him a stag's skin, which he brought and gave to a saddler to cut into strips. Don't poo-poo a gift that somebody gives you just because it doesn't seem to fit exactly what you need. Sometimes the gifts that people bring us, while they might seem odd, hopefully no one's bringing you skin, every gift has meaning. Whether it's a physical gift or whether it's a word, whether it's a spiritual, whether it's whatever it is, every gift has meaning. A handshake has meaning. A hug has meaning. A paper flower has meaning. It meant enough for someone to give you that part of them, that energy. You should treasure it exactly as someone should treasure the things you give them. So, I hope that helps, sugar. All right, Kane Bogart, you ready? Flowers have been my companions on long walks until it was time to return home. Sometimes taking a break and letting only the flowers be your companion is exactly what you need. You don't always have to have other people around you. You don't always have to you have to disconnect. I learned that the hard way a long time ago. Let just the flowers be your friend on some of those long walks, Kane, okay? I actually really like that. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to kind of dog-ear that page. Kane, I think that quote touched me just as hardcore as hopefully it hit you. See, even sometimes people's readings hit me and I'm like, ooh, that was kind of deep. Because sometimes, and I'm sure that I'm telling you this for a reason, sometimes I feel like I always have to be on. I always have to be doing something, helping people. I always have to have people around that I need to be doing the things. Sometimes I simply just need to walk along the flowers. Just like you do, Kane, okay? So, all right. Shannon Darby, you ready? So, and without much ado begins a tale of love and the good country, the rings, the glass rings that are brought by the dozen, which play a big role in the initiation of feeling. Every single relationship has a beginning. It always begins with something really interesting, really weird. But you have to let it start. You can't just say, well, I know this person is great, or I know this job is great, or I know this friendship is great, but they didn't give me the right thing. They gave you exactly the thing that they had to give. It's not always the thing that we think we want. It's the thing we need. All right, Catherine Mazel, you ready? So the reason that this one is not in Latin is because it was written in French. So I saw somebody asked about why it wasn't in Latin. That's why. All right, ready? Catherine, this one's kind of interesting. Good, thank you, Cain. I'm glad. Then jealousy seized him. He knew that his brother, following the habits of the time, was going to inherit all of the fortune, the paternal titles, and that he would be no better than the first servant. Sometimes, Catherine, you just have to let somebody get what's coming to them, because even though it might look like it's so much better than what you're getting, everything comes with a cost. Power, money, all those things come with costs. And if something that you feel like you deserved or that you should have doesn't come your way and it lands in someone else's lap, count your blessings, because you probably dodged a huge bullet. So, all right, Miss Leanne, you ready? Thank you. I will always take a Stevie Nicks compliment. How did I get a Spanish page? Oh, okay. This part right here is in Spanish. I cannot read that because I will myrtleize it. So I'm going to read right above it. You ready? Interesting. Thus appear at the earliest before me, or I will continually torment you by these powerful words. What that means is you need to strike first, love. Go on offense. Quit playing defense, Leanne. Sometimes offense is recording conversations. Sometimes offense is putting someone in a jar before they have a chance to put you in a jar. Sometimes offense is doing all this fuckery. And sometimes offense is setting boundaries. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Is it Kayla? Kyla. Kayla or Kyla? K-A-I-L-A. Kayla. I'm going to say Kayla. I love this book too. It's fantastic. I'm reading from books. Would you like to help me? I can't read, Mama. Did y'all hear that? My kids said they can't read. They lying. Hey, all right. The stars, the numbers, the colors, the flight of birds and plants are all used for divination. That right there, Miss Kayla. Good, I was saying it right. Okay. Miss Kayla, that right there tells me that the universe has been telling you have a very unique knack for divination with almost anything. Quit putting yourself in a little box. Quit putting yourself in a little box there, Miss Kayla. I have a feeling that you already use a lot of these things for divination. You already look at the clouds, you look at the birds flying around, you look at numbers, you look at things, and you just know the things, but you don't trust yourself. So here's what I'd recommend. Keep yourself a digital journal. So get a separate email address. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before. Get a separate email address. The only thing you send to it are these things that you know. When you can look at a cloud and go, that looks exactly like this, this, this. And that tells me this, this, this. Not only will you have a record of what you thought, what you know, you'll have a time and a date stamp on it. So, Miss Kayla, obviously you are a very, very talented person when it comes to clairsentience. And I would do everything you can to boost that. You're a powerhouse, sweet pea. Apparently, you don't believe the universe when the universe is telling you. All right, Miss Andrea Viennes, you ready? The man who groans under the overwhelming weight of prejudice and presumption will scarcely convince himself that I have been able to contain in this little compendium the essence of more than 20 volumes. I know everybody is trying to stack up against you right now, Andrea, but you have more knowledge in there than you give yourself credit for. Not only do you have more knowledge in there than you give yourself credit for, but you know way more than this motherfucker does. Quit letting him put you down. I have been able to contain in this little compendium the essence of more than 20 volumes. Andrea, quit thinking that you don't know anything, love. You're a very powerful person. You need to own that. All right, Miss Amanda Ty, are you ready? Ready? But when you are convinced that you have been taken for a fool, come see me and I will remind you that many things which one believes are spiritual miracles. I love that too. How many times have you had a relationship or a job or a situation that seemed so great suddenly fall through? And you thought, oh my God, I totally just got taken advantage of. I'm such a fool. I'm such whatever. And then in the long run, it worked out in your favor. Thank you, Kane and Shannon. Guys, just because something fails, just because something falls flat, doesn't mean it's a failure. It means that you dodged a bullet. It means that that's not on your path. So when something screws you over, when something pushes you back, it's because A, it wasn't for you, and B, it was the universe removing that before it had a chance to hurt you. All right, Miss Minnie, I've got 3 for you, sweet pea. You ready? I'm going to take off my whoopee here. Reiki gets me hot. Y'all have no idea.
Yep.
I don't know if I can get out of it. I'm sitting on it.
My turn.
My kid wants to wear my whoopee.
My turn. Yep.
It smells like campfire from the beach. Hang on. Like I said, I'm sitting on it.
My bad, boss.
All right, here you go, love. This annoyance was the natural result of the naivety of his spirit. A lot of the annoying things going on around you right now have to do with the fact that we tend to gloss over the bad things that we don't want to see. So we allow ourselves to be a little naive and not believe that something like that would happen. So look at those things that are really, really annoying you to your core right now and see where those are things that you might have just glossed over. It'll help you fix those in a very, very quick way. I'm going to read 2 right here, and then I'll pull your third one. You ready? He left, filled with hope and summoning to himself all of the courage he would have need of the following night. During this time, the shepherd began to rub his hands. I think that that fits awesome right after the one I just read for you, because this one right here talks about seeing things for what they are and being filled with hope in seeing them plainly. Sometimes, guys, our brain tries to make things more complicated than it really is. Things are actually really simple when you look at them in a black and white yes or no way. And I know everybody's like, well, things are gray. Start looking at them in a very simplified way. Because when you look at things in a simplified way and you see the hope in the situation, you see the silver lining in the situation, it's easy to move forward and have the courage that you need later on. I kind of know a little bit about what's going on around you, Miss Minnie, so I think this is absolutely fitting. So is the first one. What do you need, baby? Ready for your third one? I've already read this one, but this is funny. Because this right here tells me that you're trying to force yourself to learn things by the normal, by the norm. And it wasn't how you were raised, and it wasn't the things that your soul knows. Ready? But the taste for divination was not always limited to these innocent examples. That tells me that you already know how to find the answers, but you're trying to make yourself find the answers in the norm, the mainstream. Does that make sense? You were raised in a very unique way with a very unique family and culture and beliefs and path and ways of divining knowledge. You need to get back to those. I love you, sweet pea. Mwah. I hope that that's exactly what you needed. All right, Miss Louise Williams, ready? Interesting. So the area I opened back here, at the end of this book, there are actually workings. The working that I opened to, Miss Louise, to make oneself invisible. And the part that I saw is interesting, okay? Now keep in mind, this was written so long ago, okay? Do not put a cat in a pot, I'm just saying. Then light your fire. Place the cat in the pot and hold it covered with your left hand without moving or looking behind you, no matter what sounds you might hear. Sometimes we need to just forge forward on our path and not look back, no matter what tales people are telling about us. Because guess what? People are going to believe what they're going to believe. So when I first started going through a divorce, I no longer had need to argue. I no longer cared. I was going forward on my path, no matter what it was behind me. So when people would say, oh, I heard this and I heard that, you know what I would say to them? You know what I still say to people? When they say, oh, I heard so-and-so said this. Do you know what I say? If you don't know me enough to know whether that is true or not, then you should believe every word of it. Because that person's already going to believe what they're going to believe. Don't waste your time and energy, Louise, in defending, arguing. Save your energy for that light going forward. It takes a little bit because we're so used to defending ourselves and arguing and so on. It takes just a little bit. But once you get firmly in that habit, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Thank you, love. All right, Sarah Boggs, you ready? Let me refresh my list here. Why? Because, stammered the sorcerer, surprised by this objection, because then suddenly recovering his poise, he said, this mystery need not trouble you, my child. Remember in the future not to poke your nose in my affairs, or you might end up in the cooking pot yourself. Damn. Apparently, you're, Miss Sarah. Sometimes it is the day and you are the one. I'm just saying. Sometimes people fuck around and they need to find out. Sometimes people continue to fuck around and fall in your pot. I'm just saying. Just saying. I know, guys, when you get on your spiritual path, especially when you're first on your spiritual path, everything is love and light. But the universe is balance. And I always have people say, well, I don't want to do anything bad because karma or this or that or whatever. Threefold law, tenfold law, blah, blah, blah. The universe requires balance. The universe requires balance. Even if you say, they'll get their karma. I'm not going to do anything, they'll get their karma. Well, guess what? They come across somebody that doesn't give a flying fuck, that knows that the universe requires balance, and that knows how to handle that person with whatever fuckery they brought to the table. They are that person's karma, yeah? Because they got what was coming to them. Sometimes they do need to fuck around and find out, Sarah. Just saying. I kind of have a feeling that's the universe giving you permission right there, girl. Apparently you need to be the justice. So I kind of feel sorry for whoever that is on the other side of this, that the universe needed to remind you that they can fuck around and find out. All right, Christy Pulley, you ready? Nope, I saw you go back to that page. There we go. So, my friends, this is what most of the time is believed to be the second sight. You've been having some interesting dreams, haven't you, Miss Christie? Apparently, your gifts are going through the roof right now, and you're feeling a little crazy, and you're wondering if, you haven't broke your brain. I'm just going to say, Miss Christie, that for the past 4 or 5 years, a lot of people have been going through that. And when your gifts fully switch on, yeah, you feel crazy as shit. You feel crazy as shit. You need to trust yourself, sweetheart. Okay? I'm going to read you the second part of this because I feel like you need to hear it, okay? One must admire the method applied, but do not marvel at the supernatural powers of those who exploit it. Yes, there are people out there that they kind of exploit others by using their gifts. You know, I put those in parentheses for a reason, air quotes for a reason. You have a unique gift, Christy. You have some amazing skills and talents. You're not crazy. And unfortunately, those of us that have gifts, which is all of you, get compared to those, you know, on the side of the road psychics that are just doing it to scam people. And the ones that reach out to you saying that they're me, saying grand rising. You're not crazy. And you're not like those people, okay? I promise. Hey, crazy can be a skill and a talent. I'm just saying. Just saying what I'm saying, Miss Christy. But you're not crazy. You're not crazy, girl, okay? All right. Natalie Buck Parks, you ready? The interior of the hut corresponded to the public perception of the shepherd. That one's pretty self-explanatory, but let me explain it a little bit more. Sometimes we try to make ourselves, our hut, into what everybody else wants it to be. Unfortunately, you can't be happy having your hut, yourself, your inner person be what other people want it to be, because you're you and your soul is unique. Can't be what everybody else wants it to be. Don't try to make it what everybody else wants it to be. Okay, love? All right, Miss Julie Tibbs, you ready? This seems even more curious to me. It is perhaps even more elementary. Miss Julie. Miss Julie. Take a look at the situation and simplify it. Pare it down into the simple yes or no, nuts and bolts at the very base of the foundation of the issue. I know sometimes that seems like, oh God, well, I can't get to all this. There's always the base of an issue. Usually revolves around one person, one decision, etc. When you get to that base and you pull the base apart and you pull the bolts out and look at each bolt, you're going to find the bolt that has the bend in it, and you can either replace it or knock the fucking building down. You need to get to the very core of what the issue is. What caused the whole problem. Look at things very objectively. Okay? Barbara Eden and Morgan Fairchild. Wow. Both amazingly beautiful women. Thank you. Made me kind of blush a little bit. Thank you, Tanya. Did that help, Miss Julie? Pare everything down and pull the bolts out. Inspect each bolt and go from there. You're welcome. All right, Nicole Chase. All the Nicoles. I have Nicole Chase and then Nicole Border next. Ready, Nicole Chase? You know what? We're going to go right there. It is no longer presented to the world clothed in a scary appearance. You see why I like this book? You see why I like this book? It is no longer presented to the world clothed in a scary appearance. Honey, your path, who you are inside, your spiritual self, you're not a monster because you don't believe like everybody else believes. I know that that's what some mainstream people would have you think, but you're no longer that way. You never were that way. You're not a monster because your soul doesn't believe what the people in the norm tell you to believe. This is one thing that I actually had a mentor point out to me one time because I was having a real problem with being who I was meant to be, stepping into who my soul has been trained to be my whole life. Because the person I was married to, hell no. And I said, well, he thinks it's evil and he thinks I'm evil. Like, my ex literally called me the Wicked Witch of the West when we were married. She reminded me, then you don't need to be afraid of the dark since you are one of the monsters that lives in it. And I at first laughed, but then I thought about it over the years and how right that is. Love, you're not some scary monster, okay? Then I cut my bangs. So, guys, I have cut my own hair since I was 19. When I was 19, I got out of the military and I came home. My hair, so I'm a redhead, but y'all can see my bangs are two different colors because my hair is turning white. So this is actually natural, the two color bangs there. But I got home and I had like waist length curly red hair, and I asked this lady to trim it no more than 1.5 inches, and she cut that much off of it and layered it. And I said, I never again will ever let anyone cut my hair. So I do my own hair. Only a couple of times have I gone and had it cut because, well, sometimes you just need to be pampered, but I wanted somebody else to just, wash my hair. You know what I mean? Like do the scalp massage. But yeah, I cut my own hair. So I cut my bangs about every 2 weeks. I know it's time to cut them when I blink and my bangs do this with my eyelashes. It's time to cut them. If my bangs are so long that they get under my eyelashes, it's time to cut them. I actually was worried I cut them a little too short, but they're about perfect. So yeah. So. Yep. It wasn't retrograde or anything like that. It was just time. They were in my eyeballs. All right, Miss Nicole Border. I've got 2 for you, love. You ready? Yeah, I've cut my own hair for a long time. As he was rightfully feared in his domain, none dared contradict him. Girl, own it. Own your domain. Own your space. And quit allowing people to question you and to undermine you and to disrespect you and push your boundaries. Oh, I'm so glad, Miss Louise. I'm so glad. Yeah, I take very good care of my hair. I take very good care of my hair. All right, here's your second one. You ready? Thus appear at the earliest before me, or I will continually torment you by these powerful words. Girl, not only do you need to quit letting people walk all over you, but apparently it is the day and you are the one. Fuck around and find out. So, fuck around and find out, girl. Let them keep pushing your boundaries. And then let them have it. okay? Quit allowing them to walk all over you, Nicole, okay? All right, Miss Mariah White, you ready? Let's see how many more. Somebody was asking how many more I've got to go. I've got about 15 more readings, and then I think that's it for my list for tonight. All right, Miss Mariah White, you ready? Saying so, the shepherd closed his eye in a wink as if to say, I know all this myself, and yet I am not proud. So, Miss Mariah, that right there tells me that you need to make sure as you go forward that you be humble with your expertise. So as you're learning, as you're growing, and as you're finding out all of the things, you're so welcome, Miss Nicole. As you're finding out all the things, be humble, guys. And I'm sure that some other people needed to hear that here too. We all know people, we all have seen people on social media that they get just a little bit of power and they go a little insane with it. Thank you, love. They go a little insane with it, and yeah. I know you're not that way, Miss Mariah. So, know that you are... Where's my yawn counters? That was number 1. I made it this long and that was number 1. So, in gaining all this knowledge, Miss Mariah, make sure that you stay humble with it, okay? Tells me you're meant for great things. All right, Miss Catherine Pearson, you ready? The devils of the black hole will not be able to stand against you. Go without fear. I don't even know that I need to explain that. I don't even know that I need to explain that. The devils of the black hole will not be able to stand against you. Go without fear. Did you guys really get to 300,000? Oh my God, you did. Y'all. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. I don't even need to explain that, girl. That right there is the universe telling you that you are amazingly protected and that you literally can take all the steps you need to forward on your path without worry. So stop stressing. Stop worrying. Do the things. Do all the things. Do all the things. Okay? Do all the things. All right, Miss Deborah Westwood, I've got 2 for you. Like, that's a very powerful thing. God, Catherine, I want that quote. All right, here we go, Deborah. You ready? Okay, this is the 3rd time that I have popped onto this one. You're welcome, Miss Catherine. The taste for divination was not always limited to these innocent examples. Quit stressing about trying to be the same as everybody else. Because when it comes to how you get your answers and how you know what you need to know, you're not going to find the answers in the same normal ways as other people. It tells me your soul is a little more in tune. It's past just the norm. Probably why you needed to hear it from here and not from here, or have somebody just tell you. Love, it tells me that you have like a direct line to the universe. You just need to trust yourself. You just need to trust yourself. And I saw that you said one was for you and one was for your daughter. The intervention of the spirits is obvious to them. And badly placed would be any man who put it to himself to convince them of their nativity. I never can pronounce that word. So see, y'all were like, oh, you read so well. No, I don't. Naivete. So, the intervention of the spirits is so obvious to them, and badly placed would be any man who put it to himself to convince them of their naivete. I hate saying that word. So for you, you need to trust in your form of divination, how you know the things you know, because you literally have a direct line to the universe. For your daughter, she sees the spirits around her. She knows the things. And I think it's interesting that somebody, and people in general are trying to convince her that she doesn't see those things, that she doesn't know those things, that she hasn't always seen those things. She needs to walk tall in her own power and not... I'm not going to finish that sentence, actually. She needs to walk tall in her own power, and she needs to only dole out the knowledge that she has, that she gains, to the people that deserve it. Because those that are naysayers and those that try to convince her that she's crazy, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve the warnings. They don't deserve the... They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. So she needs to be generous with those who do deserve it. And those that don't deserve it, they can fuck right off. I think that's amazing, Miss Debs. I think that's amazing. All right. Mickey Devlin. Does she remember that? All right, Mickey, here you go. You ready, Mickey? Ready, Mickey? Professional Bodhi. Very well, he thought. There are still imbeciles in the world, and if this continues, the wizarding profession will not be the worst choice. That's funny shit. I love that she told you when she was 3. Mickey, that's funny shit. There are always going to be stupid people in this world. It is getting worse. Stupidity is getting worse and deeper. But those people that operate in the spiritual realm, that don't live in the norm, that have unplugged from the matrix and don't live there anymore, wizarding and being a spiritual person is not the worst thing that there is. So, I think that's hilarious as fuck. I think that's as hilarious as fuck. Just saying. All right, Angela, ready? For that, he needed to gain the confidence of the old wizard and induce him, even at a high price, the secret of conjuration, which would render the demons of the black hole submissive to his desires. Well, Angela, apparently the universe has been telling you to find your mentor, find your guru, find who it is that you need to learn from, because you're a very powerful protector. You're a very powerful protector. You just need the right person to guide you forward, so you can squish down all the demons that come up against you and those around you. I have a feeling you probably already squished the demons for those around you. So, love, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Find your guru. Find your mentor. Learn those things and keep continuing to grow. The world needs more people that are talented in protecting others. But remember, you have to protect yourself as well. Okay? I have goosebumps. No, you probably can't see them. I have goosebumps. All right, Renee Barnes, you ready? So this one starts down here. I pray you leave your abode in whichever part of the world that you might be to come and speak with me, or else I will have to compel you by the force of the great living God to obey me. Damn. Love. There's going to be people around you that are going to attempt to make you stay put where they think you should be. In no way are you supposed to stay where they want you to be. They need to come to you, and you need to be wherever the hell you want to be. Stop allowing people to put you in their place. Does that make sense? Because people say, well, I'm going to put you in your place. No, no, no. You're trying to put me in your place. Stop allowing people to put you in their place. If they aren't big enough to come to you and they feel like they need to squish you down, they need to kick rocks. They need to kick rocks. I'm glad that made sense. I'm glad that made sense, Miss Renee. All right, Miss Melanie Queen, you ready? Oh, thank you, Lady Ice. Well, here you go, Miss Melanie. He could not doubt himself. He could not doubt himself. Miss Melanie, stop doubting yourself. I know sometimes that's easier said than done. Trust your gut. You're right. You're always right. Thank you, Miss Renee. You're always right, Miss Melanie, okay? Stop second guessing things. Stop questioning your own self. You are right, okay? When you doubt yourself, that's when mistakes happen. You already know exactly what it is you need to be doing. I'm going to say it again, Miss Melanie. Quit doubting yourself. 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 You are the prize. All right. Miss Serinda Jones, I have you for 2. Sugar, you ready? Thank you, Leanne. All right. This one actually has a name. I know it's not your name, but ready? Claude, who had got up, full of terror, saw dozens of spirits suddenly surrounding him. So, Miss Serinda. Thought I was getting on, but I didn't. Are you seeing shadows out of the corner of your eyes? So I will tell you guys that a lot of people that used to never see spirits, never see shadow people, never see any of that stuff, as your gifts get turned on, people are starting to see them more and more and more. Hear them, see them, feel them. So here's the thing. The vast majority of the time, dreams and shadows, okay. The vast majority of the time, 98% of the time, those things sometimes are just as startled as you are that you can suddenly see them. They just are trying to impart a message or get somebody to see them. Okay? Thank you for subscribing, love. I'm glad that they're back. So for those of you guys on YouTube, she said she always has, but they left for a while. So I'm so glad that they're back. I'm glad that you've gained that gift back. Now I'm curious to see the second quote. Apparently you need to make an offering. Are you ready for this? I mean, I don't think you need to make these offerings, but apparently you need to make an offering, whether it's just lighting a candle, whether it's incense, whatever. You'll know exactly what it is you need to do, but this is kind of interesting. You must return on the eve of the feast of St. John. You must bring me the donkey that you have bought. You must bring me 4 new 20 franc pieces. So I would say money, coins. I don't know about a donkey. I'm sure you could probably, find something in lieu of a donkey. But you need to make an offering. A lot of times, guys, this is something just as a shaman I deal with a lot. Anytime I dig rocks, anytime I gather herbs, anytime I do anything, take anything from the earth, from that space, from whatever, I make an offering. I make an offering. One of the things that I do, y'all know I like cigars. I knew that was coming. One of the things that I will do is I carry some smaller cigars with me. And if I don't have ceremonial tobacco to use, I will carry cigars with me. And I will leave the tobacco there. I will crumble it and leave the tobacco there. I'll say my thanks. I'll just talk to the area, to the land, to the plants, etc. and give my thanks. That's exactly what I'd recommend. Okay? Yeah, the donkey part's funny. I mean, if you need to get a little wooden donkey, I guess. But I don't know. Leave something shiny. But maybe there's a donkey candle? Maybe just a gray candle? I don't know. All right, Jackie. The apparitions of the devil derive from various beliefs regarding the existence of fantastic beings endowed with supernatural powers, and according to some, animated by the infernal spirit. I could interpret this one of 2 ways. Oh, you're a glass artist. What? Maybe you should make a donkey. And if you do, I want to see it. Miss Jackie. Or is it Jacques? Jackie? I'm probably murderizing your name, and I'm so sorry. I can interpret this one of 2 ways. So here's the first way. Oh my God, look at all the glass artists in here. So, the first way. And is that 3 or 4? I think it's 3, yeah? Is that 3? All right. This tells me that you're really in tune to energies, to beings that are around you. And I said beings for a reason, because a lot of times that we're anywhere, those of us that are really sensitive to energies, you're going to see people, you're going to see beings, you're going to see things, you're going to know when something is, someone that's passed on, and you're going to know when it's not something you want to be around. The other way of looking at this is that you're about to gain this gift. I have a feeling that you're probably about to gain this gift. When we start gaining the gift of reading energy, it comes on really slow at first. So when it comes on, first it is more of, man, I don't want to stand by this person in line at the grocery store because they just feel ick. They might look great. They might be in a 3-piece suit, dressed all nice, whatever, but just like, ugh. You start getting really sensitive and you can't understand why. You can't explain why, but you're always right. When this gift starts to fully manifest, it gets to the point where you can't go in certain places because there is something extremely bad or powerful there. I would say that this gift, if it hasn't already manifested, it's about to. And if it has manifested, it's about to go through the roof. Well, so I would make sure that you're protected as you go forward. Okay? Make sure that you are protected as you go forward. Some of the things that I personally do, not only, I mean, y'all know I wear a whole bunch of stones and I have bra rocks and all that stuff. So there's an old American folk magic trick. It's found in the Appalachians. It's found in the Ozarks. It's found in several cultures. Ward the bottom of your shoes. Ward the bottom of your shoes. I ward the bottom of every pair of shoes I wear. You can do this with a Sharpie. I usually do it either, so if it has a heel on it, I'll do it up underneath, where you don't normally walk. If you're worried about it coming off, you can actually pull the sole out, ward the bottom of it, put the sole back in. This is so things can't follow you home. It's so any bad juju stays where it is. Okay? So, yeah. All right. Alita Lovelace. That sounds like a rock star name. Holy shit. Alita Lovelace. In concert. Live this Friday night. See what I mean? That's like a rock star name. Holy shit. All right. Here you go, Miss Alita. Despite his credibility, Claude suddenly discovered, wow, there's actually an error in this book. It should be with aplomb. That shook the composure of the wily con man. Girl, you can see through other people's bullshit and you know damn well you can. So stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. You already know their energy. You already know what kind of person they are. And you already know. You already know the things. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. And stop letting them back in your life. Okay? Stop. Trust your fucking gut, girl. You already know. You already know. This is the universe telling you, stop it. I'll do a video on it, guys. How about that? About warding your shoes. Yeah, I ward every single pair. I actually have a couple of new pairs that I bought. Just like cheap ass shoes that I bought to tear, basically to wear to tear up. So I'll do a video because one has a dark sole and one has a light sole. So yeah. I'll do a video. Okay. All right, Stephanie Gwynn, you ready? Let me refresh this and make sure that everything is good here. Ready, Stephanie? They also knew divination by salt. It was considered a bad omen to forget to put the salt shakers on the table or to fall asleep before they were removed. In our day, superstitious people are still frightened by an overturned salt shaker. All those fun, crazy little superstitions that you've always practiced, been a part of, etc., etc. They're right on. Don't stop practicing them, okay? Don't stop practicing them. Don't stop believing in them. It's kind of funny that we just talked about warding your shoes and so on, and now we're talking about this, because all over the world, there are superstitions, there are beliefs, there are things that you do, things that you don't do. And you grew up with these things, all of you. You grew up with certain things that you did or you don't do, etc. And then you come across people who make you feel stupid for those things. But when you are walking a spiritual path, you're more in tune with the things that normal people don't see. Which means the things that normal people don't see can also see you. Y'all, don't poo-poo your own superstitions. Don't poo-poo other people's superstitions. So make sure that you're paying attention. And I find it interesting that this specifically talks about salt. And I don't know, Stephanie, where you grew up or where you live now, but there are several different American folk traditions of throwing salt and pepper, a mix of salt and pepper, over a door frame at night to keep away bad spirits. So in the Appalachian Mountains, it is to keep haints away because they have to stop and count the grains of salt before they can enter the door, and they're never going to do that before the sun comes up. Things like that. Apparently salt is something you need to be paying attention to. You just did a salt ritual. That's awesome. This is confirmation then, yeah? Yeah. All right, Vanessa. Ready? Oh, yeah, Laura. Everybody goes through that whenever you go through an awakening, your body starts to commit mutiny. You get more sensitive to other people's energy. Yeah. You're welcome, Miss Stephanie. All right, Miss Vanessa. I told you about the country wizards. Right now, there are sorcerers in Paris. Girl, you are in the first phases of finding your tribe all around you. In big cities and little cities. You're right on the verge of finding your tribe, Vanessa. Now, here's the thing. When we're on a spiritual path, we lose friends, we gain friends. We lose friends, we gain friends. We lose friends, we gain friends. We find our tribe. Then we drift off. We find another tribe, we drift off. It's like that for everybody, guys. For everybody. For everybody. So you're about to find your tribe again, Miss Vanessa, okay? Okay. All right, Raven sides. Ready? Have Raven and then Karina. Here you go, Raven. The sight of this miserable dwelling did not reassure poor Claude. He paused at the threshold with a sudden apprehension. Love, this tells me that you're on the verge of making a decision in a situation that you don't feel comfortable making a decision about. So guess what? Don't let somebody pressure you into making a decision when you don't feel like you need to make that decision. Don't say yes or no. If you don't feel like you need to make that decision, don't. 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 I know some people will be like, well, not making a decision is a decision. It is. But if you don't feel like you are the person or this is the time to make this decision, don't do it. There's a reason your gut's telling you that. Don't do it. Okay? All right, Miss Karina. Ready? Do not be afraid, replied the operator. It is only to prove to you that my little devil is intangible. Karina got the fuck around and find out skill set. Karina got the fuck around and find out skill set. So, don't be afraid of that darker aspect of your path, Miss Karina. I'm just saying. Some people are very talented when it comes to sending things right back to where they go, to being karma for some people, and to absolutely doling out the fuck around and find out. That would be you, Miss Karina. Just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So, expand your knowledge and the fuck around and find out. And absolutely use that skill. You're welcome, sugar. It's a fantastic skill to have. Not everybody has that skill. Not everybody is talented in some of the darker or gray areas of practice. So, just saying what I'm saying. One of these days, I will get some book recommendations on the site for y'all. I'm just going to make sure I don't have anybody else on my list. All right. So, that would be it for my list tonight, guys. Y'all have been... This has been so much fun. This has been so much fun. So, I'm going to head out. I'm going to try to turn this off. Hopefully. Won't let me. Shit. Well. Guess it's going to stay on all night. Alright. So, let me close YouTube here. You guys have a good evening there on YouTube. And I will see you tomorrow. You're welcome, Miss Stephanie. Thank you, guys. So if you guys got readings, they are